So let's get started. Let's get into the topic. Once again, welcome to the Foundation. I appreciate that y'all were able to check out the show. The topic of the show is how to turn your credit into cash. With credit expert Toran L. Like I said earlier in the show, I've seen Brother Toran in action. He's been able to substantiate the things that he's able to do with credit, from funding to restoration to enhancement. I mean, this man is cold, and he's a businessman, and he's a noble. So, with that being said, let me see. Brother Toran, are you with us?
I'm here, brother. Can you hear me?
Hey, peace, family. Yeah, how you doing?
Peace, family. I can't complain. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing well, man. I'm very, very, very pleased that you can make it to the show. I know it was kind of short notice, but I appreciate you, making the time to jump on and, put some information out to the family, man. So thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me. Anything for the family. Anything
Absolutely.
for the family. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Now, I remember last time we talked about this, we were coming from an aspect of what credit is and what it's doing to us, and how not understanding it is, detrimental to us in a commercial. I wouldn't call it a compound, but everything is commercial. So I don't want to come from the how shall I say this? The victim standpoint. I don't want to play the victim side, and this is what they're doing to us, and this is nah. There are a lot of common misconceptions about credit and money in general, and what it is, and what it's intended to do, or what you should be using it to do. At least once you understand the game, it's all a game.
Right.
I don't want to talk about the conspiracies and the this and the that. Like, just I'll go ahead and run through a brief history of credit. We call them credit bureaus, as if they hold some sort of government pull. They have some sort of legislation, some sort of power over us. It's just just a scare tactic. It's like the Federal Reserve. It's nothing federal about that. Privately owned. These companies, just like Equifax, for example, started as regular old business. Let me report, the consumer behaviors. How do you shop? Way back, we're talking, matter of fact, 1800s, 1898 to be exact. They weren't incorporated yet, but they later incorporated themselves in 1913, in Atlanta, but they started in a grocery store in Tennessee, just to compile a list and see who was credit worthy, and extended lines to people. Okay, Tom, you don't have it this week. We know you're good for it, but if Mark been writing bad checks, you got bad history with us. We can't do that, and it just spread from there.
Right.
Same with the Experian, that was way back in London in the 1800s, early 1800s. Just a group of merchants, and just wanted to spread data on this customer buying habit. Same thing that's going on today. It's just a whole lot more complex now. Technology with the technological advances, it's a whole lot faster. You go apply for something today, it doesn't take snail mail, however long it took then to get to where the information was being posted and shared. Now it's within seconds, within minutes. Anybody around the world can know, okay, somebody just inquired about this, somebody just inquired about that. Just consumer buying behavior. So all of them are data furnishers at the end of the day. They're privately owned companies. You don't owe them anything, at the end of the day. Same thing with TransUnion. It started as a railroad company. Union Tank Car Company, just leasing equipment, and found their way into gathering credit data on consumers just because that was a lucrative business at the time, to sell this data. Let me furnish this data and sell it off to all the other business owners. So, if you cheated John down the road, 9 times out of 10, you're going to cheat me too. So we don't want to extend credit to you. And it's the same thing today. Like I said, as a noble, it's my duty to educate you and provide you with the unsweetened truth. Just, so you can make informed decisions and take more of a realist approach with regards to personal finance, credit specifically. As far as what these scores actually do, how they're compiled, and the percentages, late payments take up this percentage, and your credit mix will take up that percentage. I'll save that for another show because I really want to stay on topic and tackle the common misconceptions and how that can be turned around and used for good. Because most times you hear credit, oh, my credit's bad, or blah, 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 it's hindering you from doing something. So I just want to be able to turn that around so people can use it as a tool and realize, take it for what it is and use it, leverage it. From that aspect, like I said, I'm not trying to play the victim card because we done enough of that. It's nothing gonna come out of crying about it. Just fix it, do something about it. Where I'm from, if you don't like something, you do something about it. So that being said, everybody knows your credit score would dictate. At the end of the day, it will dictate where you live. Are you in a wealthy neighborhood? Are you, closer to the low income side? Are you, how, not only where you live, but how much you pay to live where you live in interest, where you work, what you drive, how much you pay for that car or whatever, in interest. Can you even get approved for this? At this point, they're even taking, they'll run your credit for insurance policies. Like, it's dictating so many aspects of our lives, and we don't understand it. And we need to understand that because it's really hindering people. It's nothing to be afraid of. So I kind of want to push forward with that in mind. Look at what you got, a low 500 credit score. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be hard to find a job, especially if it's sub 5. It's like having a felony,
Yeah.
Think about it. They don't want to rent to you. They don't want to give you a job. It's like, wow. And sometimes people, especially with the breach with Equifax, you might just be a victim of something, planned or not. I'm not going to get into all that, but that can be fixed as well. But I say that for a whole nother episode. I really want to jump on like the different scoring models, FICO versus Vantage Score, understanding the difference between those two, and stop me if you got any questions, man, because I'm trying to just powering through because I get asked so many questions from so many different angles, but I kind of want to just narrow in on the specifics,
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You got FICO Score and you got Vantage Score. FICO being the one that lenders use. So, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, Innovis is one of the ones that's not really talked about like that, but they're out there. It's more than just those 3 credit bureaus, but for the sake of the conversation, we'll stick to the main 3 because I don't want to confuse nobody, right? Not this episode, please. Vantage Score is a whole nother pricing model, a scoring model. That's what Credit Karma uses. So that's why, you may check a Credit Karma report and then go pull your actual FICO and it'd be 40, 50 points off. It's different scoring models that still get you a 3-digit number, but you can't take that Vantage Score report and go to an auto dealership and drive off the lot. It's not happening. because that's not what lenders use when they're financing that paperwork, And so now you have the collateral on false pretenses because that's not how they got to their number and their credit risk assessment. You follow me?
Oh, yeah, I'm following you. Yep.
Okay. That, just
Wait, hold on.
little...
Hold on. For the audience. Okay. So you said the Vantage, so there's different types of scores. There's a Fico score. Correct. And a Vantage score. Did you say another one?
There are multiple scoring models. I don't want to go too much in detail because they wouldn't. Right now, FICO and Vantage Score are the primary two. And
FICO,
I remember
FICO's what is used for like getting a loan or getting a car loan or something. But we got Credit Karma, and we're seeing scores on Credit Karma, and that's why we're seeing a discrepancy when we go try to get credit for the vehicle or something, and they're saying that the credit score is lower than we thought because Credit Karma is using Vantage, right? And these other credit reporting apps are using different score models, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I just wanted to, point that out, make sure that was clear. But go ahead.
Because they're going to both give you 3-digit numbers, but they use different formulas to come to that number.
Right.
You want to go with the one that... Yeah, what can I get something with?
The phone uses a FICO, and you come in with a Vantage score, it's going to be a different situation you thought it was going to be, right?
Exactly. We're going to have a whole other conversation, And when it's time to get to the money, get to the financing, and you're like, oh, well, Credit Karma said I had a, 690. You pull your FICO, it's 560. And it's different across the board. Rarely does somebody have the same exact score all the way across the board, because different creditors report to different agencies. Some of them may not want to pay for TransUnion, so you might just have some showing up on Equifax and Experian, or, another combination. Some of them report to all three. It just depends. And they're billing dates at the same time. If you pay something down and they pushing data to these bureaus at different times, well, you might have had a $500 balance when Experian pushed theirs, but now you got a $300 balance. TransUnion pushed theirs. Or you went and bought something, it's $1,200 now when the last one pushes it. So you're going to have discrepancies within, okay, well, these billing dates are different, and I have a higher debt utilization now because I wasn't paying attention to my billing cycle. So all that plays a huge role, in keeping a quote-unquote sexy credit profile, something the lenders want to see. That's what you want to appeal to, lenders. Because if they'll give you the money, then that correlates to, okay, they'll give me this car that I want, they'll give me this house that I want, they'll give me this whatever that I want that I need to finance using these scores. So it definitely plays a role in how you live your everyday life, or it can if you're not properly structured in the private as well. So, they go hand in hand. But
I got it.
It's there to be leveraged, man. Nobody want to die with you'll be a fool to die with an 850 credit score. What'd you do with it? Leverage it.
I think you're also a fool for, living with a 500 credit score your whole life.
That too. That too.
I like how you said that, they're running your credit to, getting certain, apartments and complexes and houses. They're running your credit to, give you insurance. They're running your credit to, see if you can get a job. If you got a low credit score, they may think that you can't pay your debts. You're more likely to steal from the job, so they ain't going to hire you. I mean, it's really serious, but it's also really ridiculous, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think this is very important, definitely. So let's talk more about, leveraging credit. If you, let's say, well, actually, can we go back a little bit? Can we talk about good debt versus bad debt a little more?
Definitely.
Did you already get that?
Definitely. That was my next thing.
I've heard Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's heavy in real estate. He's a big dude. when it comes to real estate. You know, I've seen him with Donald Trump. He wrote a book with Donald Trump before Donald Trump became the president of the United States and stuff. He's heavy in real estate. He was talking about, you know, there's good debt and then there's bad debt. Thought that debt was bad all the way around. So can you give me some examples of what, you know, good debt is?
That's that programming right there. They did a good job of it. Just keep you away from it. You know, don't use it. It might hinder your ability to do X, Y, Z. You know, but the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Good debt would be buying a property with the intent to rehab and sell or rehab and rent. You know, buying equipment to lease out to someone for a profit. Anything that's going to transmit you more than what you spent on it and build a positive cash flow. Bad debt would be, all right, I got a $10,000 credit card. I'm going to go run up even $4,000. You know, anything over 30%, I'm going to run up $4,000 on clothes or something, like, or just frivolous expenses, anything that's going to rust, rot, and depreciate, man. If it's one of the two. It's either you're building or you're destroying, you know. You putting your money into something that's going to bring back more, or you putting it into something it's just lost. You blew it. You know, a good example would be your education. If that education is going, you know, for a fact, or the odds are in your favor, okay, I can finance this education. I don't mean, I'm not knocking the four-year institutions, man, by any means. But in today's day, you know, these times you need to be just grab the meat of what it is that you're trying to learn and get into the market and apply it as soon as possible once you have a grasp on it. So if that, let's say it was $15,000-$20,000 that you spent in credit to obtain knowledge to be able to then go hit the market and recoup that and continue to recoup that, it's paying for itself time and time again. Time after time, it's paying for itself. That would be good debt. You took on some good debt. Bad debt would be, again, anything, okay, I spent this money on this course. It wasn't, you know, validated. I have no proven path. Like, okay, I'm going to just gamble with it. Okay, now that doesn't work, and you stuck with the debt. That's, you don't want anything like that. You don't want to go, because it's easy to jump into, and it's hard. It's not hard, but it's a hassle to try to clean up, and you have to know exactly what you're doing to do that, to make that happen.
So, you know, good debt would be like maybe a mortgage on a multi-family home where, you know, it's generating income at least to pay for the mortgage, and then, you know, my family's living in one part and then, you know, renting out the other part. That would probably be considered good debt, correct?
Correct, absolutely. Absolutely.
Or if, you know, if I took out a loan and I went, you know, maybe I took out, let's just say, $100,000, and I took that $100,000 and paid the franchising fee for Subway and opened up a Subway. You know, like bought a business or something, or, you know, an income-producing asset is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Exactly. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to bash the education system, man, but I'm tired of seeing our people, like, just I don't, you know, I can't say what I want to say, but just left in a real bad situation after taking so much debt to go to a 4-year institute. Unless you're working on somebody's heart, somebody's brain, you need some type of public certification, man, stay your ass out of that. Don't do that. You can't file bankruptcy to get those loans off. That's the only type of loan you can't file bankruptcy to get off. There are other methods, but really think about that, especially to the parents. You know, me being somebody who had grandparents and parents coercing them to go to a 4-year institution to obtain, you know, these accolades, do this, do that, you know, make us proud. I mean, nah. Because when you come out, the debt, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's not the same $20,000 doesn't get you the same thing it would get you when they were in school. And like I said, I don't want to discourage anybody from going. Just know that be 80 to 90%, I would say 95% certain that these 4 years of my life that I'm spending obtaining this knowledge is going to pay off exponentially and not going to be outdated by the time I get out and get into the job market if I'm in the public and there's no jobs for me because a robot came and took my job. Automation coming straight down the pipeline, barreling speed. And now here you are, 40 to 60 grand in debt, can't get a job to pay that off and doing something that you were overqualified to be doing, you know. All of it plays a role, you know, because that's sitting on your credit report. They're going to look at that before they look at your resume. Like, oh, student loan, you defaulted on 60 grand. Yeah, we see you got a nice resume, but you defaulted on 60 grand. That's what's going to stick out the most. And it's stuck with you till you die. Unless, you know, like I said, other methods, but just know what you're doing. That's bad debt to me. And I haven't heard anybody else say it, but I've looked at probably at this point thousands of credit reports, and 80% of people, that's one of the things that's hindering them. So I just wanted to throw that bug in it, you know.
Okay. So let's talk more about, you know, maybe leveraging the credit. You know.
Oh yeah, you can turn that into
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. You can turn that into a lot of profit. That's what it's for. People with money, they don't necessarily need credit. They leverage it, but it's really for, you know, I'm not gonna say poor people. It's for people who don't have immediate access to cash flow. It's a starting point. You know, if you have a good enough payment history or a structured profile to where you have X number of, like, the magic number is usually 3 primary accounts, meaning I own these, I have these credit cards from these creditors or financial institutions. They've been paid on time, no late payments. I keep my debt utilization low. I don't run up high balances and whatnot. Those can be leveraged and turned into cash immediately, or especially when you have unsecured loans. You know the difference between unsecured and secured. They're not collateralized, and you can spend them on anything you want to spend them on. So having a high, let's say you have most of them are around 10, 15, 20, 25, they, you know, in those ranges. You have a $20,000 card and another $10,000 card. That's 30 grand right there that you can invest into something. You know, easy. Just leverage. You can do what you want with it. It's not attached to any, well, you have to spend it with this creditor. It's unsecured. So going after unsecured loans or unsecured credit is the best way to leverage that score. But at the same time, servicing that debt. Aged accounts, good payment history, all that plays a huge role in your ability to be able to have credit extended to you and then leveraging what was extended to you.
Okay, so I want to make it clear to everyone checking this out, right? You may email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, if you'd like to set up some sort of consultation with myself and Brother Toran L. But I do want to say this: we're not dealing with anyone if you don't have a plan of what you're gonna do with the money. Period. And I mean, obviously, you got to have a pretty good credit score or be willing to work on it. But we're talking about, you know, money that has to be serviced. The debt has to be serviced. So you got to be able to at least make the minimum payments on these funds that you have. Even though it's unsecured, it can still mess up your credit and put judgments on your credit, mess up your profile, and now you're going to try to get some housing, an apartment, you're trying to get a job, and all of this stuff is on your credit. So you can end up in a worse situation than you are right now. Now, we are not attorneys. We're not any type of tax attorneys, or credit, professionals or anything like that, and your results may vary. But the bottom line is this stuff can get you into serious trouble if you are not mature. Having said that, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. If you're interested, you want to get in contact with Brother Toran L, credit expert. But moving forward, family, let's talk about some of the benefits. Let's say I got a credit, a debtor or individual credit score, Fico score. Let's say it's 780 points. That's my score.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are some of the benefits that I can, utilize just off that score?
Wow. The score alone, I appreciate you mentioning that as well, man. Yeah, if you fail to plan, man, you plan to fail. So I appreciate you getting, throwing that in there because we don't want to deal with the hocus pocus, play. It's too much liability on this side.
And so, please believe, if you email me, I can tell by the way the words you're using in the email. I'm a very, very smart man. I get on the phone with you, I can tell by the words. I can tell how the inflection in your voice, if you're on BS or not. I'm really, really very, very, very good judge of character. So, you won't have to be some sort of Leonardo DiCaprio type, Denzel Washington actor to get, through what I call filters. As nobles, we are definitely filters. And there are some people who just you cannot pass. You shall not pass. You don't have what it takes. And who are you to say if I have what it takes or not? I'm the one with the information. I'm the one barring you from moving forward on the path that you're attempting to move, and that's why you're talking to me. So I'm the one who's saying go get it somewhere else. We don't play with the we're not playing games with this. These are people's lives we're talking about. And if you got children, this can affect your children. This can affect your marriage. This can affect your heirs. This can affect your life. And you'll never. I'm working hard to make sure that no one can say, so L told me something wrong and put me in a bad position. Toran L told me something wrong, put me in a bad position, took advantage of me, didn't tell me the truth. BS. I ain't trying to hear all of that. Study yourself to show yourself approved. Don't do anything we say. Check it out. And if you don't have a plan, we are not dealing with you. I just want to put that out there. So, yeah, go ahead, man. I got a 780 score. What's going on? Hold on. Let me paint the picture. I got a score of 780, but my boss just really, really upset me 2 weeks ago, and I quit. So I don't have a job. I don't have any income, and I got one pay stub that's within 2 weeks, but after that, that's it. And I'm looking to get some funding. What can you do for me?
Thinking on my feet, I'm gonna say, okay, you need to go pull your credit report and see exactly how'd you get that 780? Was it your history? Was it your trade lines? Was it the age of them? Either way, you can get approved for some good money with a 780. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to go get $100,000 with a score like that in the proper profile.
$100,000. Okay, let's get more realistic. Let's say I got a 720 or a 70. Let's say I got a 708, and I don't work for the past 6 months to get that 708 popping. What am I looking at right there? Same scenario.
Okay. Again, depending on how old you are, it's a lot of factors. How old are you? Give me that. In this scenario,
I'm 33. I'm 33.
33.
I got one credit card that I've had for 8 years. I got the balance low. That's a big part of me getting my credit score up because I had high balances all the time. I had 2 credit cards, 33, 2 credit cards, and I just kept high balances on them ever since I had them. And I don't have nothing else. Maybe I got a student loan payment, and it was in default, but I took care of that, and I got some good reporting. But, I had high balances. I got 2 credit cards, and one's 8 years old and one's 3 years old, and I just brought them under 30% utilization on both of them. And my student loans are up to date, and we're talking about 3 months. This has been about 3 months with this steadiness.
Woo! Yes, sir. You're the underdog. You came back from something most people don't make it back from, and that's why the score is where it's at, because of that good recent payment history. You know,
I was working,
180.
Yeah, I was working, man. There was a couple months where I didn't pay the insurance on the car. Like, nah, I wasn't playing. I'm tired of it. I quit my job. I'm not going back to a job. I'm done. So this got to work. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my shirt. So I got that 7. It was just like 708, 720. I don't know. I got to check the FICO, but I'm not sure. But, you know, I'm sitting good. I've been working hard for 3 months, and I just quit on my boss. I told him to go, you know, do something not necessarily legal, but definitely immoral with himself.
Oh, okay.
And walked out. You know
Understood. I would say my personal, honestly, depending on what industry you were in, if it was something to do with equipment or however, you know, without breaching those terms that you signed to be a part of that job, man, I'm going to go, this is what I've been doing the last X amount of years. I know we got X amount of clients that were either satisfied with these results and not satisfied with those results. So I'm trying to get some of that clientele. I'm trying to retain some of those clients. If it was leasing equipment, I'm going to use that credit and go buy the same thing that they over here getting taxed for, because I was inside the company. I know. We marked it up 60% and offer it at 40 and build my account like that. That's me, you know, honestly.
But with my like 708, I could probably, how much do you think I could pull in funding? No, I need the funding, right? So how much funding am I talking about?
708.
And like I said,
2
man,
accounts.
We role playing.
Yeah. I would say easily.
You think I can get 20?
An 8-year-old account?
I got one credit card.
I know you can get 20.
I got
you can't get 20. I know for a fact you can get 20. You should be able to get 2-3 times that. Easy.
So is this 20, maybe 60?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting like, and this is cash, right? This is like, this is cash.
No, these are, you can get it. You have options. You can have an installment loan where it's a one check and it's consistent payments on that until it's paid off. Now, once that's paid off, and it's even when it's before it's paid off, if it's current, you up to date on your payments, it's gonna look real good on your credit report. You know, okay, he's up to date, never had a late, this, that, and the third. It's your credit mix that really, it'll boost your score, because now you say you already had 2 cards. So you might want a $25,000 installment loan and then double down and go get a $25,000 credit card from the same institution. Those are 2 totally different, loan products.
Right.
And it adds to the credit mix and it boosts your score. Me personally, I prefer the plastic because I'm not paying on it until I use it. You know, as soon as that it comes back to having a plan. If you don't have a plan, and you plan to fail, because as soon as you take that cash, most people say, "Oh, can it be in cash straight to my bank account?" Yes, it can be done, but do you have a plan? Because as soon as that money gets deposited into your account, that clocks. And if you don't have a plan, you're gonna be you sinking it. You're gonna swim or sink.
So we have options. 20 to 60. No, I got you. So we're talking 26,000.
I wouldn't say 20. 20 is that's being extremely. Somebody did something wrong. Somebody needs to be talked to if you only got 20 grand with that kind of history.
Hey, you talking to me, man. I was kind of gangster, a couple, 10 years ago. I didn't care. I burned my credit up. So, I'm just coming back. So, on the low end, 20, on the high end, maybe 60, 80. And is this with a business plan or any type of collateral?
No business plan. You can get anywhere from the lowest would be 20. That would, get what you need. Don't bite off more than you can chew. The max unsecured, like no docs, no nothing, is $250,000. That's rare. I've only seen that twice. I haven't even seen a 250 ever. I've seen 226, 30 right there at 210, and I've seen 250 with a combination of business and personal. Using your personal to personal guarantee that business loan. But that's a whole nother ballgame, Unsecured, no, you need no business plan, no collateral, at least with our lenders. No business loan, no business plan, no collateral. No
I gotta have
upfront
to
fees.
pay. Yeah, that was my next question. I got to pay any fees before I get the money. So I'm gonna give you $20,000, but you got to send me $500 first, like some old scam from India or something.
Nah.
You gonna scam me like those Indians, the people from India? All right, cool.
We know better than that. We know.
All right. So do I got to provide proof of employment?
None. No proof of income.
Do I got to provide any proof of income?
No. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. Pause right there. Now, you don't have to. 95 of the credit products out there, loan products out there, do not, that we deal with specifically. Because, we just partner with the best lenders for your situation. But now, if you need something specific and not too many people blaze down this path and say, hey, I haven't seen you before, but can we borrow 60 from you? And unsecured. And they like, hold on, brother. Let me make sure, and it's got a lot to do with your personal information, personal identifiable information in your credit report. So if you apply for, let's say, it don't matter what, you gave them, I make $100,000 a year when I was trying to buy this house or get this apartment, and they furnish that information, they push that information to Equifax or whoever. It could push it to all three, and then you go try to finance a car or a work truck to start your business, whatever it may be, and then you tell them, okay, I make $150. That's inconsistencies in what you make and who's your employer. So when it's inconsistent, when you have an inconsistent credit profile, it's red flag. It's gonna be pending. We'll get back to you within, sometimes it's 7 to 10 business days. Sometimes it take a whole 30. Just depends. But unless you pressing and can provide, a pay stub, proof of employment, proof of income, a W-2, something of that matter, they're gonna shoot it down because it's too many inconsistencies. Now it's understandable if you change jobs but it's gotta all be together. So 95 to most of them, no, you don't need proof of. But I don't want people to, you said, nah. If you have inconsistent, but that's our job to assess your profile and see whether or not we need to adjust something or correct something, finding errors before pushing you to these lenders. Because once it's there, once it's going into underwriting, it's a wrap. So that's our job to gauge that and say, okay, well, hold on. Just understanding, being able to read that report and say, okay, nah, we need to fix this before we send you over here, because if you can't provide this, it's a waste of time. It's a hard inquiry on your credit. It's going to drop 3 to 5 points, and it's not worth it. Because if you get more than 4 inquiries across any bureau, any of them, within the last 90 days, that's an automatic turn down. Most people don't know that.
Right. Looks like you're just applying for credit willy-nilly. So my next question is, let's say I get some, it's desperation. Let's say I get some funding, and let's say I get some cash. Let's say I decided, you got me. We end up getting like $40,000 in the funding, and then I wanted 10 of it cash, right? So that goes into my account. Do I have to pay taxes on that?
No, sir. You can't tax a loan.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
I like that.
No, it's not subject to taxes at all.
What other benefits you think?
A good one to me, man, you got a whole year. This plays back into you just quit your job and you ain't going back. I'm done with it. 0% interest for the first 12 months on a lot of the products, especially the credit cards. That's why I like them the most. But you got, that's a lot of them try to, we'll give you $2,500, $5,000, and it seems like, cool. Now that's no money. If you get 0% interest for the first 12 months on 20, 30, okay, now you're talking, because now I can take that and do what I need to do over the next 365 days and just pay the balance down. Minus, I don't have to worry about interest. That's a big enough window for you to gain some traction and start producing some passive or however you producing, you making that income. You making more than you putting out, and you gaining.
Yeah, because they a lot of these cars, they don't have interest for the first 12 months and stuff. So I got a year to figure it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's an alternative to traditional bank lending, bank borrowing. And I'm trying to really gauge what I'm like. It's right. All right, this is what it is. Especially in the public, I can at least say this. It's not a prerequisite. It's not required, but it's highly advisable to have a business trust, a family trust. You want to have your stuff situated when you get a hold of this money. The wrong time to make a fire escape strategy is when the house on fire. You need to have this strategy down before you catch this. What's my quickest path to the end zone? Not, I caught the ball, now who blocking? That's not how we play this game. 'Cause it's not a game. It is a game, but it's not a game when you're on the wrong side of it. So having a plan is important, and knowing that it's an alternative to bank loans. And, for example, if you have a trust, and stop me if I go too far, man. I don't, it can go there, but you just have you have different options with regards to how regardless it's going to get serviced, but you can go ahead and get a kickstart, a head start on banging your business credit off of your personal if you know what you're doing. And I'm going to stop right there because that's your field. I don't want to, I might pancake more toes than you do if I mix those two together and really they're like, oh, wow. I don't want to keep it where we at right now. But another benefit for me would be, for everybody, is that these credit lines are scalable. Meaning, you might, what was the number we said? Okay, 40 to 60 for your example profile. 40 to 60 they gave you up front. If you service that debt correctly and use it correctly as good debt for 6 months, 9 months, especially a year, you can request limit increases. Which goes back to me saying, oh, well, why would you want just 20? Unless you need a mix of credit and you already got 5, 6 credit cards with high capacities on them, there's no need to take an installment unless you have a specific need for your personal needs, or I'd rather pay one fixed every month. I know I'm making this much and I'm paying that much and it's being offset and this is my margin. But that really can't be scaled like that. It's a lot harder to do because you have to pay this off before they throw you another one. Whereas with a card, you might like one in particular because of its rewards, or I'm traveling and I'm putting all my expenses on this one, keeping it below my 30% debt utilization, but I'm putting expenses on that and racking up a bunch of points so I can travel around now. And me servicing this debt correctly allows me to ask for a limit increase, or they might even push one. They might for you one, because you already know how this works, man. It's like, well, you've been responsible with 60. Let's see what you would do with 80, 90. Consolidate them, put them on. You might have 3 different ones and you doing balance transfers and whatnot. And I'm not going to get too deep on that either because now they're trying to, they're against manufactured spending is what it's called. But in essence, you can grow these lines so what you get initially is not what you stuck with. It's just, it's levels to it. You want to gradually build. So, them being scalable was a big, big, big plus for me and a lot of the business, especially business owners. People looking to start businesses or buy existing businesses or buy into real estate because, okay, well, I can afford to spend $50 on this property with what I have now, but let me go ahead and rehab that. Let me flip that. Let me push that. I did that correctly. Now I can come back and buy either 2 of those, whatever they're allowed, whatever your limit increase is. Now I can buy 2 of those, or now I can afford to have more workers or more equipment, better equipment. You just build from there. And the fact that it's flexible, it can be used for anything. It's unsecured. It don't matter if you want to go, like I said, grab equipment or buy property or even sublease property. As long as you're making a profit and you have a plan. Now, you don't need a business plan to get the money and no collateral, but you need to have one put together before you go and take on this responsibility. That's in essence what I'm saying. And there are also drawbacks to it. As a noble, I got to tell you, I can't tell you about the sunshine if I don't tell you about the moon, or what's going to happen when the sun go down. So,
before you do that, we got about a minute. She just told me we got about a minute and a half left in the stream. If you're listening online or anything like that, you definitely want to call in 424-222-5250. Otherwise, in less than a minute, you will be kicked off and you'll have to check out the archive. As well as once we start streaming, if you lose connection, you call back. She's going to lie to you and tell you that there's no show scheduled, even though you know that you were just on the show. So I just want to put that out there. 60 seconds left on the stream. So 424-222-5250. Go ahead, brother. What's the drawbacks?
There aren't many, but first off, you got a person to guarantee these loans. You have to be responsible. If you are not a responsible individual, you're putting yourself in a situation that's going to be easy to get into at the moment and, hard as hell to get out of. Excuse my French, but you're going to be up shit creek without a paddle if you do not have a plan, because you're on the hook for it. And you can't use a cosigner in most situations. So if your credit profile does not meet the minimum requirements to obtain this credit, then you may as well just sit back and build it. Have patience. Don't be greedy and just have patience. Build it up and slow work your way to where you're trying to get. And another one would be high debt utilization. So if you need to buy, something for $30,000, and you got 3 cards, one for 20, one for 10, another for 10, and you go max out one, you go max out another one, or you put 5 on one, 5 on another, max out the other. You did what you had to do, but that one you maxed out, 50% debt utilization, meaning you spend half of your available balance. That does not look good. And you maxed out one. So if you don't service that immediately, cool. If you need to rehab something, cool. Take your time in a timely manner, but pay that back. Make sure that's taken care of. Don't miss a payment. Make the payments. Don't just abandon it until you finish doing what you got to do, because they're gonna treat you the same way when you're trying to come get some more credit. Like, nah, we see how you shitted on Chase. Excuse my French. But nah, we can't ride for that. We can't allow you to do that to our institution, So that high debt utilization will be, and applying for new credit will be what causes them to say, nah, you relying on credit a little too heavy. You look light in the pockets. You look desperate. You messed your face card up. This credit report is nothing more than your face card. People talk about street cred. I got cred. Blah, blah, blah. They know me. Nah. What you look like on paper, that's what's going to get you somewhere. Equally important, because, you only got your word, which is understandable. But if you don't look right on paper, man, nobody care about no street cred. Nobody want to extend no credit to you.
Got you. So how about
it's some drawbacks.
Let's talk about if I were to come to you. Let's say I got a 700 score. How long am I looking at before I got proper funding? Am I looking at 2 weeks? Am I looking at 30 days? Like I said, it's depending on the profile. How long I've had the account, so on and so forth. We understand that. Let's just say, the scenario that we were using, for example, I come through, you say, 20's on the low end, so let's just say I'm going to get 50. How long do you think that's going to take once I start working with you for me to, get that availability of that credit?
It depends on the form it comes in. Usually within, it can be as quick as 72 hours, and it can take as long as 14 days. It depends. Some of these approval processes take longer, but that's why we look at the profile and say, okay, there are inconsistencies here. They're going to shoot this down. Let's not even waste our time putting inquiries on this one, or let's not give them a reason to say, hold on, we need human eyes. It's machines making these decisions most of the time. And then at the end of it all, they have a human to check off on it before they just release money in the thin air,
Yeah.
So it can range. I've seen some people get funded the same day, next day. FedEx overnight, like they got 60. Rarely, like you got to be a nun in the credit game to get that, but it happens. Never missed a payment. Probably paying the bill off 2-3 days early, a week early. I'm talking about real life though. That's not realistic for most people.
Not most people, but like you were saying about the cards, credit cards with the rewards and the points. If you're smart, if you have, you got a credit card that gives you 1% cash back, and you're about to go to the grocery store, and you got $200, man. If you don't use the credit card, spend that $200, get that cash back, and then take that $200 and actually just write a check and go pay the bill, or pay it online right there. Now that don't make no sense to me. I think that's part of what you were talking about, manufacturer spending. But if you can get certain rewards from these credit cards just for spending money at particular vendors or on particular things like flights, rental cars, grocery stores, gas stations, stuff like that, it is very, very smart to use that card to make that purchase, get those rewards or get those points or whatever, and then take the money that you were just going to pay out of pocket and pay off the credit card. And now you're cycling rewards points. You get free flights every year. You're going to get cash back, all types of stuff just by doing things that you're already doing. So that's how I was building my credit in the first place. Is, I was purchasing groceries and stuff like that on this credit card that I got. And actually, I'm going to be honest, it was a secure card. I had to get them fools $500 before they even gave me a credit card with the $500 limit. So basically, they was giving me my own money to use, and then they was charging me interest on my own money. But whatever, this is how you build credit. So what I was doing is I was going to grocery stores and just buying groceries and then gas, and then I kept track of it. And this is the hard part that most people miss. Swipe the card, sign the receipt, and then I had to follow through and actually pay the entire statement. I didn't pay the minimum payment. I paid the whole statement, so therefore I wasn't paying any interest on the purchase. So it was just like I paid cash. It was a little roundabout way, but I'm getting points and cash back and stuff like that. So, I would definitely recommend that as well. When it comes to utilizing your credit, pay the whole statement off. Charge up $300 worth of groceries. Pay the card $300. You ain't gonna pay no interest, because it didn't hit the billing statement long enough for them to charge you interest. So, stuff like that is definitely to keep in mind.
You made some valid
Go
points.
ahead, man.
I just want to pause you real quick. If you pay it all the way off, it might look dormant. So you need to keep something on there. You just buy a pack of gum. Leave something on there so that line is active.
Okay.
It's like, okay, with a dog, he got a $5,000 card and his balance is like $1, every month. You making the minimum payment. I wouldn't even suggest minimum payment. Just keep something on there. Don't let it sit dormant. It's cool to pay it all the way off every now and then, but keep something on it. So that ratio of what I'm using to what I have available is so big. Like, okay, he's like a water drop in a bucket versus we don't know if this bucket's full or empty because you ain't using it, and it could just be an old account reporting.
Yep, I got you. Yeah, so y'all hear that? Y'all listen to him. Don't listen to me when it comes to this credit stuff. He's a professional. So, you know.
Hey, you making some valid points, man.
Well, you know, pay off 90% of the balance. You spend $300 at the grocery store, you know, pay off $270 and leave the 30 on there or something. You know, or something.
Yeah, you can carry a
me.
balance. You can carry a balance.
Just a small one. You know,
small, very small, and at the same time, just because you're gonna get rewarded, you know, a Disney trip's 15% off, it'd be like, damn, that Disney trip. You know, if spending that, however much you about to spend, is gonna take you over your threshold. 30. I try to keep your debt utilization under 30%. You know, because now what you're gonna not be granted in future credit until that gets corrected. You could have went to Disney 2-3 times with the amount of money that is now being left on the table because you was thirsty for a Disney trip or whatever it may be. I just, this is an example, but if it's going to take you over your debt utilization and it's not going to look good. Oh, pause. One more thing, man. Once you have too much credit out there, it's a such thing as, just like you can be overinsured. You got too much credit. Once everything start reporting to the bureaus and they see like, okay, he got 15 with Chase, 20 with XYZ, whoever it may be. They may, especially if your debt utilization gets too high. So, for example, you want your reward so bad, you go run up past 30%. I'm spending all the money. I pay it off. You forget to pay it at least below 50% at absolute worst, but try to keep it below 30. So if you got a $10,000 card, don't put more than $3,000 on it. But let's say this time you put $5,000 on it. You put $6,500 on it. I'll be able to pay it off. Blah blah blah. Now, that same bank is going to report that to the credit bureaus. That lending institution is going to report that. So now all the rest of them are looking. It's monkey see, monkey do. Like, oh, hold on, he ran up a high utilization over there. He looking real desperate. Let's cut this line. So now you thought you had 20 with the other one, but now they see how you handling what you're giving. They cut it down to 15. They cut it down to 10. If you get too high, they'll close the whole account just based on, they have their own terms. So you have to have a plan. You have to know what you're doing. But that being a factor, we off, right? Like, I know we still on, but we off, right? As far as like, yeah. I'm gonna just say this, man. Get you a trust. If you get approved, get a trust. Like, we can have a whole another conversation once you got your family and your business trust. You got your stuff structured right. We can have a whole another conversation, But I'm gonna just say that's important. It's not a prerequisite. You can still get your money. Put it to good use. Maybe you need to earn some profit. Take the debt, turn it into profit. Make it good debt. Use that profit, come back and buy. But because without that, this whole puzzle is incomplete. You're still in the rat race. You're still a hamster on the wheel. You still playing the game the hard way instead of the smart way. And this is not a sales tactic or. I don't see shit from that. Excuse my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, it's not, you don't make me or never mind. I'm just saying, I want to see my people doing better. Get your affairs in order. These times are trying right now. And this credit game is about to dry up. It's don't wait. Don't sit on it. Like, I could do that next month. I could do that next month. Oh, I get to that next week. That's sucker shit. Excuse my French. That's, that's loser talk. What we put off, we eventually abandon. I'm a right now type of person, like, and that's been a gift and a curse for me. But right now, do it right now. Don't put it off. It's extremely important. Do it. If not for yourself, do it for your children or your unborn children or whoever you're gonna have to take care of when they can't work for themselves no more. This shit is bigger than you. It's important. And if it ain't about family, I don't know what it's about, So I just wanted to drop that in there.
Hey, that's real. That's absolutely real. I respect that. Well, man, as we wrap up, man, is there anything else that you want to say as we begin to close here?
I mean, I would at least want to, it's so many things that can be done. Starting businesses, improving your existing business, real estate investment, vehicle financing, home buying, refinance your credit card, debt consolidation. But if you don't have a 680 or better score, and it's not hard to get there, trust me. We got trade lines. We got all kind of stuff we can. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. And we can get to that. We can help you build your profile. That's not an issue. But you need to know the requirements. And we'll run through all that as well. I don't want to, stipulations may apply. Nobody want to hear that shit right now. I'm just keeping it real with them, man. Like, I'm tired of seeing our people be misled and just uneducated about what this is and what it can do for them, And I know what platform I'm on, and I don't care who don't like it, man. You know me. I want to change that. I really want to change that, So that's pretty much it, man. We can go over the details in the private. I don't even, I want them to get the key points. Like, this is important. It ain't about I got cash to flex on Instagram, or I'm keeping up with the Joneses. Like, if you about that and you not about family, man, don't need to call my damn phone. Like, don't. Excuse my friend. I know it's children listening, man, but keep that shit over there, man. Like, we don't have time for that, man. We in trying times right now. I see what's coming out of the pipeline. When we are in highly influential networks and high networks where we see what's coming before it happens, and right now ain't the time to be bullshitting, worrying about stuff that don't matter. This is important. So, if you feel the same, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. If you don't feel that way, don't even bother. But, take it for what it's worth.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. It's for serious inquiries only. I'm not trying to hear that window shopping mentality, and I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to anybody. We all have good intentions, and a lot of us say stuff that, we want to be able to do, but we really know that we can't. I ain't trying to hear that. We all adults, we're grown, not playing that. Maybe your sister plays that. Maybe your boss plays that. Maybe your girl or your man plays that. We ain't playing that. Serious inquiries only. Do not waste our time. Please. And that's for your own respect level. Not really saying that, don't play yourself. Some real stuff right here. And we're really trying to, make a difference and, facilitate change for the positive. So don't take up time on some BS that could be devoted to someone who's not on BS. You understand what I'm saying? Just show some respect and some consideration. That's all I ask. So with that being said, family, you want to jump off? You want to take a couple calls? How you feeling?
I'm whatever, man. Let's. I know they got some questions for me, so I'm this charity, man. Plug them in.
All right, well, I'm gonna go straight to Brian from the Bay.
Okay.
Let him say. We're going to let him say if he wants to say what he can say with regards to the topic. You know what I'm saying? But, Biggity Brian from the Bay, say what you want, family.
How both of y'all brothers doing?
Doing well, brother. How you doing? Peace.
Good,
I'm
brother.
all right.
Peace.
We came here to support, and I guess you could say I wanted to make it clear about what this man was saying is that I'm a person that you could say, I guess you
Hey, speak up a little bit.
Fix your mic, brother.
Yeah, fix your mic, family.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. That's better, yeah.
All right, man. Well, I was about to say, as I'm a person that actually went through the process and still going through the process, and the one thing I would tell people off the top what the man was saying is that have a plan and have patience about what you're doing with your plan, because a lot of people just want to do stuff quick, and you can't, even though we're in dire times, but you got to be smart about the moves you make, because you just don't want to, like the man said, you want to make the move, but make sure you're cool with the move that you're making. Start the process, right? But then once you're in the process, if it takes a little bit longer to get where you need to get at, then do that, and then have a plan, have an option. Just, don't be sitting here thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get this paper, because really that's what it is. It's about what you do with it. You know what I mean? These credit cards and stuff. It's like a gift and a curse. It's like a double-sided knife. You can use that knife to do good with, or you use that knife to go around harming everybody in the world with it. So you could use this credit game to sit up here and help you get to a better position, or you can sit up here and be worrying about what everybody doing and buying stuff that you don't need, because that's the whole purpose of it. It's frivolous stuff to keep you occupied instead of having you be on your prize, whatever that is. So, get your mind on that point so you can be able to, plan it, have patience to get to that prize. So, and only thing I would say is like what he was saying. Everything he's saying is, legit, but I also tell people to read for yourself. Before you make this move, decide to do enough work of understanding before you even talk to some of these people. If you are, if you're unsure about it, because the thing is, it's better for you to read and start understanding the credit on your own, kind of, so you won't be scared to make these moves. Because that's the thing is, they're gonna make you be fearful of your own, your own name, because this is your name, and what you decide to do with it, or at least the entity name, not your name, but the entity name that you've been left with. So use it, don't abuse it. And on that, I mean, the only thing I can say is like both of these guys are saying, make the right decisions, be about family first, and don't make those man Toran said, just make sure you get your mind right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and that's a good testimony as far as the process and the mind state required for it. So I wasn't gonna tell him that your business, but I'm glad that you
I just want to I just wanted people to hear somebody that actually dealt with the man. You know what I mean? Because we've been talking, and the point is, before I even came here, I was already knowledgeable of some of this information. So it was cool when you have a knowledge, because the biggest thing you could ask him is that he knew all this information before, and some of the people that he dealt with didn't want to make the move because they are being programmed to not take responsibility for themselves as far as trying to understand the process. And on top of that, they've been programmed to be fear of something that they don't know. That's what it is. People are fear of the dark when there's really nothing to be fear of it, And it's just that you got to get knowledge from it, start making the right decisions and make the right moves, because that's the biggest thing I'll tell anybody, because I'm still, I'm pretty much doing the process, and, it's all about your effort and what you bring into the table before you even do that. So just make sure you know what you want.
Indeed. All right, man, I'm going to leave your mic open. Brian, if you want to mute out, I'm going to go to the next caller.
All right, I'll mute out.
Caller. Ooh,
appreciate that,
caller,
brother.
248. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Definitely. 248-2211. Area code 248. Last 4, 2211. Peace. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Jerome Moore. I'm calling from Detroit.
Peace,
peace, brother.
Yeah, right. I spoke to Sot a little earlier today, and he was able to shed some light for me on a lot of subjects. But this is my first time calling in and whatnot. So, I first want to say thank you. I appreciate y'all, man, because I would be in the dark if it wasn't for the information y'all giving out. But I wanted to ask more specifically in regards to his opinion on AUs, authorized users, as far as trade lines on personal credit. I get a lot of, I deal with people kind of in that industry, and some are saying that, they're not as effective as they used to be. Some are saying that, you got to try to get a primary, which is like, for me, been a needle in the haystack. Some people are saying that the agencies are no longer giving you credit for the history of the card. They'll just give you that month, or, it'll be that from that point forward. And some say, you got to have a card with 10 years
seasoning and 20 grand, limit. Others are saying, hey, if you got over 2 years and, you got on-time payments on a $1,000 card, that'll do the job. So if you could just shed a little light on AUs, your perspective, how they affect your credit, how it helps, how it hurts, what kind of AUs to – I know I'm throwing a lot at you. What kind of AUs to look for possibly, just kind of give me a quick rundown of your perspective on AUs.
Perfect. Respect to you for understanding that part and doing your homework, first and foremost. I appreciate brothers and sisters who take the time to understand what these terms mean and what kind of weight they hold with regard to your credit report, your financial statements. To answer that question in a nutshell is them not being as effective as they used to be is 100% true. Their bureaus are catching up. I don't even like calling them bureaus because I give them power. The credit reporting agencies have been, it's artificial intelligence picking up on the fact that a lot of these profiles with age on them are authorized users, and they realize that people have been selling them for profit. So now they want to see, well, what can you do on your own? We see your big brother can come and knock everybody out, but can you bam? Can you squad up? It's one of those situations. Don't go call your big brother here. We need to see what can you do on your own. Now, for you to get an AU that really will help you and really be beneficial, it's probably going to run you, a good $800 to $1,000 because you need some good history on it. For it to report for a good amount of time, for you to be able to do what you need to do, you're going to end up spending $800 to $1,000 for, let's say, a $31,000 trade line, good payment history for 8 to 10 years, 8 to 12 years, depending on your age. You don't want to be 25 talking about you got a 10-year-old. Who got a credit card at 15 with that kind of money on it? So you don't want to throw red flags, and there's people out here doing this without becoming knowledgeable like yourself. And like the people I like to deal with who just give me. Everything you can give me. Just give me. Now, I don't want to deal with them, But I can tell by you genuinely want to know. I would advise, and it's free game, man. You ask, I'm going to tell you. I have sources for primaries that will cost you a fraction of what it will cost to add all these AUs, and they don't really give you that pool you need. That will give you, $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 in revolving lines reporting to all three bureaus, a specific bureau, some history that's yours, like a real primary that serves. It may not be as aged, but it's going to give you a bigger boost than those AUs would, I hope that, kind of answered that.
No.
Just, if I didn't, let me know.
No, absolutely. I did 100%. And that's the thing is that differentiating between those sources, like you say, you got sources. We out here, we talk to people, we network. I got sources too, but I mean, these sources are they? That's the issue I've been having. I'd have been burnt. Like I'd have been through the. I'd have been through the CPN track. I'd have been through the trade line track. I didn't pay my dues in a sense financially. Time after time, people say they can do this, they can do that, this and that, and this. But at this point, shit, half the battle is finding somebody who's real. Finding somebody who actually has the capability that they say they have. Like, it ain't even the money. I mean, it's the money. I'm not a wealthy man, by no stretch of the imagination. So it's the money for sure. But it's, after you spend the money, what do you really get? Is it going to report on time? Is it going to report to all three bureaus? What does it really, what does it really look like? You know what I'm saying? So it's just about really getting that direct path to what your goals are. But no, you definitely you definitely answered the question.
I'm gonna answer it further though, because I feel where you're coming from. I know what it feels like to be in that position, and it's more about helping my people than it is profit for me. So a good source for that primary, look up My Jewelers Club. Look them up.
My what?
My Jewelers Club.
Oh, okay.
MY Jewelers, JEWLERS Club.com and follow those instructions. Put $100 worth of, jewelry in your. I got a G-Shock when I did mine. $130. You're gonna pay $99 for that year for the membership, plus the $130. But you're gonna finance that $130, so it'll be $65 today plus that $99. You finance $30 a month until it's paid off. So with a remaining balance of $65, you're gonna pay 2 months $30 those 2 months, and the last month $5. Now you have a $5,000 revolving line of credit reporting to all three bureaus, and that gets approved 99% of the time. If it doesn't, you probably have fraud alerts on your report. We need to have a whole nother conversation. So we got a direct, line to get those approved. But you can check it out for yourself. I'm like I want you to really know. And I'm sorry that you've been, I'm gonna apologize for the good ones out here that really want to see you succeed. And I was gonna keep that kind of in the background just to protect the integrity of what's working for people. But I know where you're coming from, and I know how that feels.
That was good that, I went through the losses because that's how I got to you. Losing is a part of winning. And no losses only lessons. So that's how I take it. I probably wouldn't be on the phone with you now if everybody I ran into kept their word and did what they said they would do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got here, so it's all good. But no, I definitely appreciate it. You alluded earlier in the conversation. You discussed student loans and might be some options out there. I don't know if I took it the wrong way or I might have picked up on something the wrong way, but I don't expect you to expound on that, but just let me know if I'm off and what I heard. Maybe I heard it the wrong way.
Yeah, hit us in the private, man. Hit them. Add me in that. Welcome to the foundation. I would love to, we can go in on that. And probably if you have any of that going on, get it resolved within 60 days. If we apply the right pressure. But that's something that in the public, I don't think I can't do that one,
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, brother. I appreciate y'all.
All right, family. Appreciate you calling in, Jerome. Have a good one, man. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate y'all.
All right. What we got next? I saw 804. Yup, 804-4038, 804-4038. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Brother Robert calling from VA.
Peace, family. How you doing?
Peace.
Good, brother. How y'all doing? Peace. Yeah. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything you're doing. I pretty much want to echo what the brother just said. Just got off the phone. I done been through it too. I done tried things and been responsible for things, and some up, some down, and I might not be on here too if I didn't go through some of that negative. And I just got on my Jewelers Club about a month ago, so looking to do some things. Yeah, yes sir. Put that 5,000 on, and that boosts me right up. And I had actually gotten everything. Well, everything was taken off my report, so I didn't have none. But as soon as I put that on there, that boosts me right on up.
Yeah.
Yes sir.
It's another one just like it. Hit us in the private, man. It's another one owned by the same group of, it's a network, man. So it'll be the same thing for you, just in a different category. But those are what that makes sense to grab versus AUs and people getting burnt. By trade, man, I'm a whiz kid. I'm a developer. I do a lot of things. I'm a brand developer, designer. So gotcha. I jumped into this building a platform for somebody who does this. I know how you got burnt up. I sat in this guy's office. I keep names confidential, but some of the biggest people in this field, I sat in their offices and watched how they played, and I branched off and did it my way, the right way. Even though it's not as profitable as their way, it's not about the money, man. My face card is worth more than how much I can make off you. Damn your money. You know what I mean? Everything about relationships. So before I'm not gonna give you a reason to be like, oh, they shysted me, they did me dirty. Like, who, what? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I know
right,
where y'all
absolutely.
coming from. That's why I don't mind sharing certain things. You know, I'll let you know, like, okay, nah, private. But at the end of the day, I see how they take advantage. You're just a piece of meat to them. Like, let me buy these. They got affiliate agreements, so they getting paid every time you buy something, and it's all about a transaction. Them the kind of people you don't want to deal with. You know?
Right.
And I watch that go on. I watch them eat people alive. They don't care about what kind of interest rates you about to get hit on. You know, they don't care about how soon these payments going to kick in, and you don't have a means to take care of that. So it's just about how many can we kill? How many can I'm killing what I'm eating? How many can we kill? They don't have passive income. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's so big right there, because even what you just did in the few minutes you talked on the show, I did not know when I went in. I did not know about having a plan, to come out on the end with, to do the servicing and whatnot. And so you did more education there in the few minutes that you talked, and just the minimal things that you said made so much sense that that's just powerful all by itself.
I'm glad you benefited from it, and appreciate the brother Sot, big brother Sot, for because a lot of this is like is second nature to me, because it's what I live, I breathe it, But to pull out certain gems and show you exactly what's this is important. Have a plan. You have to have a plan. Because at the end of the day, I understand cognitive biases and all that. If you came to Toran, and Associates, anything associated with Toran after your credit is FUBAR, effed up beyond all recognition, because you took on this endeavor without the proper knowledge and planning prior to doing so, anything associated with my name, even though it wasn't my fault, you were supposed to educate yourself before you jumped in this water. But anything associated with me and my brands and my affiliates and associates is going to have a bad taste in your mouth. It's going to be a negative connotation, because I'm now in a financial bind, worse off than I was before I started. And especially if they handle you if we handled you like the people you dealt with prior to, they just wanted the percentage. They was just hungry. They was leeches, So, honestly, my name is worth far more. My brand is worth far more. So I need people to know, And plus, I want to help them. I don't want to see you in no jacked up position. I'm doing more harm than good if I'm just out here eating off of everybody and making you buy this and buy. Man, that's oh shit. Well, I don't know no other way to say it. So,
I can tell that you care. You know what I mean? Just listening to you. So, I'm definitely be in touch.
That sounds good, brother. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Robert. And,
absolutely.
Make sure you send email admin@welcometothefoundation.com. We'll get to you in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's usually our turnaround. But we look forward to talking to you soon, family. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thanks. Peace.
All right, peace.
Hey, so can I chime in quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing I was going to say is this is one thing. The reason why I feel like Toran wouldn't do that, because he could look at you as a person that is going to also use his name to be able to use to your family and stuff. And plus, you could be a person that can work with him on a different level. Why would you want to burn somebody that might be somebody you can invest with in something else? Because by using the credits and stuff and helping you get where you get at, you might have some money on the other end to be able to go invest in other things that might be associated with Sot or might be associated with Toran or anybody else. So that's another reason why people Sot and these two brothers are not going to burn you. Because if you get to a certain position, then you can make a move to help all of us in general, because we got to start thinking as a collective and start utilizing that energy. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's definitely true. People don't think of the long term when it comes to business. I went to business high school, also went to a business college. So when it comes down to it, it's all about the customer, and the returning customer is king. So having a one-off customer, eventually you're going to run out of immediate customers. So you've exhausted all your family, all your friends, and all the people who are immediately accessible to you in your circle. So therefore, you got to go outside that circle. And if your brand is burned up, your name is burned up, it's going to be next to impossible. So the longevity and the sustainability of a business depends on the integrity of the brand and the integrity of the work that those executing the business adhere to. So the brother would not be on my show if he was not a noble and if he was burning people, because I don't do that and I don't play that. I don't even deal with that energy. I don't want your money. Bye. Because all money ain't good money, and I don't care. You know, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. And he feels the same way as me. So yeah, that's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Next caller, I already brought you in. 2870. Peace. How you doing? 2870. 507.
Peace. Sorry. I'm used to hearing my number not by the last digit. But I just,
I'm just going to stay quiet. No, go ahead. How you doing?
No, I'm sorry. I'm used to hearing the first digits. That's why I was like, oh, that was the last digit number. But no, I just wanted to say I've worked with Toran, and he's helped me and my family. I had a horrible credit score, unfortunately, because of student loans. And I don't know if he's putting that out there or not, that he actually works with other partnerships to help you with your credit as well before you can even get the funding. And it brought my credit score up to 680. I was able to get funding. I had been listening to Sot's show, The Foundation, for over a year, and had been wanting to get, a trust for my family, a family trust, and really step out there and really start building for myself and not working for someone else. And just going through funding, I was able to buy a trust and actually really start working for my family's name. And also I don't know if he's putting that out there as well, but I'm sorry if you're not, that I'm also working to get those negative remarks from the credit places, help getting those removed as well, because of his partnerships with Credit Repair. But just overall, it's just been a really great experience. He is really genuine and wanting to help. Really, he's really a visionary. That's how I see it. If you don't have I didn't really have a business plan, and he helped me with that as well. I told my sister about it. I went to business school. My sister did not. She never went to college, and she's about to start a business herself. And she knew, once I told her I did, she was like, I'm creating a business plan. She lives in the inner city of Chicago. And she was like, I looked around and saw what's needed in the city, and it's laundromats. It's just different things that she knew the city needed. I don't want to put all her business plans out there, but she's like, I can start this, I can start that. She realized from talking to me and me helping her, credit isn't bad. You use that credit to do something better. You use that credit to do something bigger. And the return on that investment is bigger than any small amount of payments that you have to make. It's really helped people I know start businesses and expand on their businesses as well. And I'm just thankful that I even came across him to be able to start to do that myself for me and my family.
It's a beautiful thing, Queen. I appreciate that.
That testimonial. Just appreciate it. Definitely. Thank you very much.
That's all I have to say is that if you have a plan, it's gonna get you far. You don't have I'm quitting my job soon. Just having a plan of what you want to do, what's your purpose in life, and just being on your own. Having those funds to know that you're about to put this into a business to reap a return, and helping people as well. I think the most important part is you want to have to help people and be of service to some other people, and it just comes back a return. It's just reciprocated, and that's how I feel that's how it is with him. He is Toran just really is genuinely wants to help people, and it just gets reciprocated, that energy.
I couldn't say it better myself,
that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, sister, for calling in. Thanks for the testimonial on the credit as well as the trust.
Thank you.
Training.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was our pleasure.
Thank you, brothers. I appreciate y'all.
Yep.
It's an honor to be able to work amongst.
Yep.
Sounds
good feeling,
good
man.
evening.
It's a good feeling.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna wrap it up. Toran, you got anything else to say? I know we got other callers. It's not gonna happen. We're streaming. It's just about to wrap. They're gonna cut us off. So, Toran, you got anything else you want to say on the back end before we wrap it up?
Take this serious. Don't wait. Don't play around with it. Anything else, just holler at us in the private. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, thanks for
having
coming,
an opportunity to help my folks, man. Definitely. It's always a pleasure. I'll be back.
I know.
I got something. I'll be back.
I know. All right, man. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Peace, Brian. I'm gonna mute you out. All right, y'all. Thanks for checking out the show. Looking to bring more and more, guests who can bring, actionable information to another platform. Check us out. WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. Sign up for the email list. Admin at WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. If you want to do a consultation, you want to get into the trustee training, you want to get up with Toran and myself, definitely email us. Admin at WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. And bottom line, I want to say is, there's always alternatives. Our minds limit us to, very limiting situations. And, a lot of us, we reconcile ourselves to say, I can't do it. It's not going to happen. So we don't try to. Well, right here, this episode lets you know that there's something that you probably never thought about. You can get funding straight off your credit score. No business plan. And a lot of times, no job verification, so on and so forth. But the bottom line is we got to keep studying and we got to keep growing and we got to keep our options open and not close off our options by saying I can't or it's not going to happen or something like that. The main thing is you need to switch your mind into saying, how can I? How can I get this done? How can I get this done? How can I make this work? And you will be amazed at the results that you're able to produce. With that being said, my name is Sot. I appreciate y'all for checking out the show. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to begin to become successful so you can become successful. Believe, begin, become. Consistency and dedication will get you to the finish line. Doesn't matter how fast you're running, you keep it moving, you're going to make it. Admin at WelcomeToTheFoundation.com if you want to get at us. And once again, WelcomeToTheFoundation.com. At the very least, sign up for the email list. Very much appreciated, and you'll appreciate it as well. So I want to thank my guest, Toran, the credit specialist, Toran and Associates. Definitely want to thank all the callers, all the new callers, all the old callers, all the callers I wasn't able to get to. I apologize. Tune in next week. I'm going to have a guest, precious metals expert. Talk about real money and break it down for you. His name is David Wren, Prosperity Mint. Make sure you tune in. Next week, same time, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. The Foundation on High Frequency Radio Network. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Enjoy yourself. And show love. In the meantime, I'll catch you next week. I appreciate you. Once again, love you. Peace to the gods.
High Frequency Radio.